There's a lot of grief right now, and the question that I've been getting is, how does God help you deal with that grief? Well, there's the evangelical answer and the real answer. Evangelical answer is so attractive, the real one a little more complicated. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. And let's just be clear, we grieve over a lot of things, over changes in our culture, in our leadership, broken friendships, broken marriages, and people dying. It's not just the people dying, there's lots of kinds of griefs that happen. So when I was growing up in the evangelical church, the answer to how God helped you deal with grief is that you prayed and asked, and God would take the grief away. God would take the pain away. And I love that answer. Oh, I love that answer. And then I experienced real grief. And I prayed. And I asked. And the pain was still there. And of course, I had people tell me to pray more earnestly or pray more in general and spend more time in God. And I'll be honest, in the middle of real grief, that is the last thing I had bandwidth for, but I tried. It didn't work. I didn't feel any better. The grief was still excruciating because that's just not how grief works. There's a human way that we process grief, and it's more complicated. Like, a lot of people experience a sense of denial, like, I can't believe this happened. This just didn't happen. It could not have happened. And then some people experience other things. And then at times people get angry. They rage against the situation, against all of what was wrong about it and how it just can't happen, and be so mad, so enraged. And then they want to bargain. I want to say, like, is there something I could do? Any way to bring this back? And you know, like I said, it's lots of different things. It's not just when somebody dies. It's when a relationship is over, a friendship is over, a marriage is over, all of that kind of stuff. And there's this bargaining, like, is there something I could do? I know it ended, but there's got to be something. Please help me figure out something. And then for a lot of us, we just get depressed. We're really sad. It's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to find motivation. It's hard to find anything good in the world. Just to even imagine the whole world seems to be a dark place of despair. A dark place where all we have is our grief. And then there's moments in which we can find acceptance of what happened. Acceptance of the relationship that is broken, acceptance of the friendship that is gone, and acceptance of the person who has died. That they've actually died and they're gone, and I'm going to celebrate their life and all of the good things that you say. But it's not a linear process. Grief happens like that over and over again. And God is often in the center of that grief, but in a weird way. Like, we are angry at God. We will shout out to God and be like, I can't believe this is happening. Bring them back. I will do anything if you can just make this relationship start back up again. Get back to where it was. God appears in this process over and over. And I don't think he appears as some sort of miracle worker. I think that God appears as a person who will walk beside you, let you say all the things, get all of it out, beat your fists against the chest of God, and still be there. Like, even when other people can't handle your grief, God can do that. And I know that it's weird and mystical and seems just crazy. I know to some of you, I get that. But the idea that you can just shout out to God and tell God he's a jerk and that God has done horrible things to you, it's real. It's freeing. And it can really help as you're grieving.